Good evening. Hey everyone. I'm going to give this just a moment to let a few people get on here real quick. And then we are going to jump right into the Madtown Minute. I usually film this a little bit earlier in the day or about midway through Friday. But just because of scheduling, here I am tonight. So I'm hoping maybe we get a different crowd. Those people are not at work. Hey, Principal Demeester. Hoping we get a different crowd on here that can join us live and maybe make this a two-way conversation. So, all right, we've got some people on here. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Hey everybody, I'm Erica Despain. Welcome to the Madtown Minute. The Madtown Minute is where I get on Instagram Live sometime between Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon to discuss all kinds of topics that have been covered on the website, as well as some of my happenings from around town because I live in Madison like many of you. Hey Alyssa. And so that's what I'm going to do. Last week I actually did not film. I was planning to film Thursday, but the weather was a little wonky and kind of worried about losing power and having a little bit of a botched Instagram live. So, we just put it off and here we are. So I have a couple weeks of things to discuss. If I sound a little raspy, it's because like many of you, allergies and sinus stuff is running rampant through our home, I think because of everything blooming. So if that is your family as well, or you are in good company. And if you are new here and these spring blooming situations and allergies stink, just know they should be short-lived. So, but it is something a lot of people deal with in this area. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump right into some topics. Let's discuss all things Madison, shall we? I think it's great to be informed about your community, informed about the things around you. I'm a strong believer that when you know more about what's happening right around you, you end up loving where you live and the community around you, and you have more community pride. It's just good to be generally informed, especially when there's a lot of good stuff going on. We live in an awesome city. We're a lot more than just neighborhoods, believe it or not. And so that's the kind of stuff that I love to share with you. Okay, 2 weeks ago for the Weekend Venturing Out series, I shared about the Hubert family Tulip Farm. That article exploded. I think I have almost 200 articles on the website, and it is my #1 most read article ever. Everybody was excited about the grand opening of the Tulip Farm out in Newmarket, and for good reason. It's the first of its kind in this area. I was fortunate enough to get invited out to go the day before the grand opening. It was absolutely beautiful, exceeded my expectations. It was so exciting driving down that country road, seeing all of a sudden just all the color. I'm sure many of you have gone out there already, so you may agree with me. It's absolutely beautiful. And so just in meeting the farmers, hearing about their story, before we moved to Madison, we were military stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas. And so through our time there, I got to know a lot of farmers from across Kansas and really learned a lot about that industry and what it takes to be a career farmer and for that to be your livelihood. And my respect for farmers is through the roof. It's tough stuff. And so I asked them all about why plant tulips, and it's a novelty thing for them. I mean, it's a very expensive thing to grow, so all of their bulbs are from the Netherlands. It was a tedious process getting it all ready, but they knew that they would reap a great reward. And so everyone has loved it. So thanks to those that have read that article, and I hope you've enjoyed your time out at the Hubert family farm, Tulip Farm out in Newmarket. It should be open for maybe another week and a half to 2 weeks. So awesome people, great family to support for that. I have shared 2 articles about new businesses, one that's already open and one that's about to open. Fleet Feet over on Hughes Road, across the street from the courthouse. Courtney says, we're going on Sunday and so excited. You should be excited. It's gonna be gorgeous. Oh, and that's Easter. That's so fun. That'll be great. So Fleet Feet opened across the street from the courthouse on Hughes Road. It's awesome. I went in there to grab a couple of pictures and I was short on time, so I didn't have time to shop around, but the store is huge. I had no idea. It's very, very fancy. They have all kinds of just advanced technology. You would think it's just a shoe store. It is far more than just a shoe store. In my article on All Things Madison, I actually shared some of the behind the scenes after talking to their owner. So the owners of the Fleet Feet here They also own the one in Huntsville. They franchised that out 17 years ago and have just been waiting for the right time to open the one here in Madison. It was actually supposed to open a year ago, but you know, like many stories, they have a pandemic story, and we're not able to open. So they are open. I've heard they're doing great. Every time I drive by, there's lots of cars, and so yeah, it really is a great store. Go check it out. Also, two articles about new concepts here in Madison. The first one was about Fleet Feet. The second one is about the Yard Milkshake Bar. So I had the wonderful opportunity to go out to lunch with the franchise owners of the Yard. I'm telling you, I know those are going to be great milkshakes and great desserts, but I just love getting to know the people behind these businesses and the heart behind these businesses. They're phenomenal human beings. Absolutely love getting to know the Cottinghams. They are so excited about starting the Yard Milkshake Bar. It was truly born out of their own love for the concept. It's been in the works for a while now, and they're so excited that they're going to open here in just 2-ish weeks. If you are wondering where it's going to be opening, if you are familiar with Town Madison, remember Town Madison is Trash Pandas. So if you drive in from the Zert Road entrance, then you keep on going on that road. Trash Panda Stadium is on your right. There is a set of retail stores on your left, and it is going to be a robin egg blue painted brick building. There's a set of like 3-4 stores. There's a bank that's going to be to their right. So that's going to open soon. They are more than just those specialty large milkshakes. Everything in those milkshakes you can break down. You want the cheesecake that's on top of a specialty milkshake, you can just have the cheesecake. Say you want all of those items but on top of a scoop of ice cream and not a milkshake. Fine, no problem. You just want the cookie dough pop? Great, you can have that. I love how you can mix and match and you don't have to have the big milkshake, but I'll be the first one to say that I will be getting a big specialty milkshake when I go there because I've never had something like that and I'm super excited. So just very, very excited to have them in Madison. It is the third one in Alabama, but the first one north of Fairhope, Alabama. I think they have Gulf Shores and Fairhope. So great. So excited to have them. Let's see here. I always have some notes. I shared an article recently about Indian Creek Wholesale Nursery over on Slaughter Road. So like many of you, I'm about to do all my flowers, all my plants, all that fun stuff. Last year, we actually completely overhauled our front yard landscaping. And so I would suggest you go to Indian Creek Wholesale Nursery. They can help you out. I was there yesterday. You may have seen on Instagram stories. The place is huge. I mean, absolutely huge. They have everything. And I would say their prices are, sometimes I think, they must be a lot more expensive than Lowe's or Home Depot, and not the case at all. Plus, they are very, very particular about who they get their plants from. When I did my interview with one of the owners, Ashley McMullen, she was actually driving with her husband, one of the other owners, down in Florida, going to visit. Hey, Joe. Thanks for jumping on here to chat with us. When we did our interview on the phone, they were actually in Florida going to meet with some of the growers where they're going to source some of their plants from. They like to get in there, see where all of this stuff is coming from, just so that they can put their stamp of approval behind it through and through and really guarantee their products. And so I love that about them. And it's not like they're out there broadcasting, hey, we go around and travel all over to see our growers, because they're just very humble like that. But I'm telling you, I'll brag for them that they're awesome. And I have a friend who's good friends with the McMullen family who owns Indian Creek Wholesale Nursery. And she's told me, Erica, they are the real deal. They are a good family that run a very honest, good business. So I always say, when people say good things about you behind your back, it's true. Excuse me, again, allergies. So they're having their 20th birthday party on Saturday from 11 to 1. I encourage you to go out, support them, grab some plants, and have a good time. Let's see. Little shout out to Whitney Briscoe. She is my All Things Madison official photographer who does some photography for me about once a month. She doesn't know I'm talking about her, but I just think she's awesome. I think she's so talented. She did our family pictures back in December. She is offering Mother's Day little minis, so I think that would be a great gift to yourself, or dads, if you're on here and you want to spoil your mom or your wife or whoever with some kind of photography session, I would suggest going with Whitney because she does a great job. And something about Whitney that I so appreciate is that she gets your images back to you like rapid fire, less than 24 hours. And I don't want to, I almost feel hesitant to even say that because I don't know if she guarantees that. I'm sure she doesn't guarantee it. But every single time she has done our pictures, I check my inbox hours later and there they are. And that is what you are so anxious to see after you take pictures. So I just love that about Whitney, how fast she gets them to you. So go check out Whitney Briscoe for maybe some Mother's Day pictures. Last Monday was such a treat. You may have seen me post on Instagram that I met with Madison historian John Rankin. I have been trying to get some information about Pension Row for a long time. Way back in the day before All Things Madison was even launched, my mom had suggested, she was like, you should do some research and write a story about Pension Row. She was like, I'd be curious to know what all that's about, because she had heard that it was, back in the day, it was a historically Black community and that it was a thriving community, that they had a lot of fun, festival. There was just there was a lot of history, and that when you drive on Pension Row today, there's not a whole lot there. It's pretty quiet. But the idea of thinking like, wow, if we went back in time, like what would this look like here in Madison, really excited me and intrigued me. So for a year, I have been trying to get some good sources for that story. And then in walks John Rankin through a little bit of research that I did, and he has been the best. He knows everything and anything about Madison. He was so gracious to sit down with me at Madison Library. We could have talked for hours and hours, but 2 hours was about all we had. He has written so many books. He told me so many stories about Rainbow Mountain. How did Rainbow Mountain get its name? I lived here my whole life and never even thought about, why do we call it Rainbow Mountain? There's a reason. I'll be telling you soon. Just all like when did Madison become a thing? When was it named Madison? Just all these things that I know I'd never really thought about, but I'm kind of curious to know. So he gave me just so many resources. He and I are going to continue talking, and I'm excited to have that element and on All Things Madison of the history of our community, because again, I do believe that having a better idea of where you live, what's going on around you, and then add in that history element just aids your interest in the community where you live. So just so grateful for John Rankin and all of his wisdom, and hope to carry on some of the research that he has done by sharing it with you guys. Okay, 2 more stories that we've talked about. The offices at Spinrin is a multi-purpose facility located off Sullivan Street, just past downtown, if you're heading towards Highway 20. And there are some offices within the offices at Spinrin that business owners have privately, but there are others for people who are called virtual tenants, where basically you pay a flat fee of $99 and you can go online anytime you want and reserve a private room. So for me, I do a lot of my work in coffee shops around town, but sometimes I just need quiet. Sometimes I don't want to work in a coffee shop. That would be the perfect example of how I could go into the offices at Spinrin and do some work. Or say I'm doing an interview with someone, say John Rankin, for example. He and I neither of us, we don't know each other. We don't want to go to each other's homes. But instead, we had to go to the library where, we had to have a 2-hour conversation in masks and there's lots of people around. And, what if that was something that they all don't want to hear all about or whatever? That would have been the perfect opportunity for me to say, hey, why don't you meet me at this co-working place, offices at Spinner, and we can sit down and have a conversation. I would have just reserved the room. Another thing you can use the offices at Spinner for is you can use their address for your commercial address. So, for example, if you are an email subscriber for All Things Madison, if you go to the very bottom, you'll see that I have a P.O. box. Well, I have to have a P.O. box because by law, if you send out emails, you have to have an address associated with that. So that's why I have a P.O. box. But I didn't know about the offices of Spinner before when I got that P.O. box. So what I could have done is become a member at the offices of Spinner and use their address for my mailing address. And then Lisa Smith, the owner, she would just intercept my mail if I ever got it. Say you are a jewelry maker, you are a t-shirt embroiderer, you do baked goods or something where you have to send and receive mail. You can use their address as your business address and leave your home out of it. I think that is so wonderful. So there's going to be a couple more stories on All Things Madison about the offices at Spinner. But when I learned about it, I thought people need to know about this place. People need to know that if they are working from home, there are so many ways that the offices at Spinner can benefit you. I think about realtors. I think about, there's so many careers, and that's actually, I don't want to spoil my next article, but that's actually what's going to be where I'm going to try and humanize it for you and share with you some of the professionals that use that facility. So keep an eye out. Finally, I just published an article a couple hours ago about Fit for Mom Madison. They invited me to come out and do a review about them, just an honest review. This past Tuesday. So I went out to Phillips Park, which is actually in Monrovia. They have a Madison mailing address. I went out there, brought my youngest daughter with me. She's a toddler, put her in the stroller and just kind of expected to have a quick workout. But it was so much more than a workout. Afterwards, we had story time, the very hungry caterpillar. We had craft time. There was coffee with creamer and all this fun stuff, a great playground, a covered pavilion. And women were just talking. Women were making friends. It was the most inclusive group, and I loved that. There was a season in my life when my kids were really, really young, and we were in the military, and, if you're new somewhere, you got to make community and make friends somehow, but I also wanted to work out, and I wanted to be with people that were kind of in my same season of life, and if Fit for Mom was a thing during that season for me, it would have been an absolute godsend. So when I experienced Fit for Mom the other day, I thought, man, people need to know about this. Maybe they think, oh, it's just a stroller group, or I don't know what people, think about it, if they've ever considered it or not. I don't know what's holding people back from joining it, but I'm telling you, if you have the slightest interest in going to check it out, check it out. They have a free class for their grand opening at Phillips Park next Tuesday. I believe registration is from 9:15 to 9:30, but don't quote me on that. You can check their Facebook page. I linked it in the article. And you can read all about my review, why I think it's so great. The owner, she's from Liverpool and has the best accent in the whole world. Shout out to Rebecca. She is literally made to be an owner of Fit for Mom. She is so enthusiastic, authentically. She's so welcoming. She's just such a confident teacher. And I just enjoyed her so much in the whole group. So, I think that's about all I have for you. Again, I'm sorry this was a little lengthy, but not filming the Madtown Minute last week, I did have a few extra things to chat with you about. Happy Maundy Thursday, Good Friday tomorrow, Easter on Sunday. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We will be at the Trash Panda Stadium bright and early Saturday because my 2 oldest daughters are going to be running their first ever fun run. They've been training for that with my husband. They're so excited. They got their swag bags today and they're just tickled to death. I think they're going to do 3 loops around the outfield, I think is what is going to be their mile. So we'll see if they can hang. They're 7 and 4. We'll see. But yeah, they're so excited about that. And yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. So thank you so much. There's been a lot of you that have joined us live. I really appreciate that. If you're watching this on a replay, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, thank you for giving this the time of day and listening every week. I'm so appreciative of all of you that that pay attention to this and that tune in. So Vanessa says, excited about Trash Pandas. Yes, we are like T-minus maybe 40 days-ish from here in that crack of the bat over there. It's going to be so great. And the fair is coming there in a week, which is going to be really fun too. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a great Thursday evening. I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.